Hey, how's it going, guys? Evan here. It's been a while. Appreciate you guys subscribing and tuning in today. My name is Evan Rhodes, and I was recently asked by a viewer to share some thoughts on the types of things I'm investing in to prepare for whatever it is that's going to happen in the economy and in the world and stuff like that. So, as you guys might already know, I'm in the process and praying to God that my divorce will happen sooner rather than later, so that we can get on with liquidating some funds and I'll be able to make a few more moves with those funds. But in the meantime, what I have been doing and what I've been kind of researching a little bit is what to do with cash, how much cash to have on hand, and so for me and for you, it might be completely different. And by no means am I an expert at all in what I'm telling you guys. All right, this is just what I'm doing. I know it sounds like a disclaimer for YouTube and all that, but I mean it is. But I just don't want you guys to just think, oh well, he said. Okay, so I am by no means an expert. I'm just doing with what I think is correct for my circumstances and how much liquidity and money I have right now. So what I decided to do was take a pretty good portion of my cash and put that into metals. And so with that, I bought some silver and I bought some gold. Primarily silver because it's so well priced right now. And I got to tell you, there's something to having really cool coins and stuff like that. Like I have coins and stuff, but it's mostly just like stuff that I've collected over the years. I never meant to do it as a hedge against inflation or anything like that, which is what I'm doing now. I'm buying these things as an insurance policy against the dollar. And I want to take a big chunk of that, the dollar, the fiat currency that we have or that I have, and put that into something that I'm hoping will hold its value much better than the dollar will with the inflation and the amount of printing that they're doing to stimulate or to try to save or keep this economy afloat, which we'll see what happens. But man, inflation I believe is like 12% right now, which is crazy, and they're projecting it to go even higher. So that's why I bought metals. All right, now people might ask, well, how come, are you getting into Bitcoin and stuff like that? And I have done a little bit of research into Bitcoin, but I gotta be honest, and I'll tell you, like, I'm the kind of person that will lose the key or forget one digit of the code, and I'll have, whatever, 300 grand in Bitcoin or whatever, and then I'll freaking lose it. You know what I mean? So I'm the type of person, I know myself, that I would rather have hard assets in hand unless I learn more about Bitcoin. And but then time is going by, right? So well, that's just where it is. So I haven't purchased any Bitcoin, although I have really looked into it, and maybe I should look into it more. On the other hand, real estate. So I have a background in real estate, and the way the market is right now, with super low interest rates and the amount of inventory being scarce, at least in Hawaii, the prices are just ridiculously high. I think that the median income or median sale price for a house right now, a single family home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of thing, is over $2 million US dollars. And I remember just looking at like more rural areas on outer islands that would be able to turn a cash flow like 6 months ago, and now they're just like, it's unable to create cash flow there. So I'm not saying that I'd be unable to create cash flow here in Hawaii. All I'm saying is that right now, with the amount of liquidity that I have, I don't have enough liquidity prior to the end of my divorce to be making any big moves as far as real estate goes and creating rental income, passive income, cash flow, in other words, out of that. So I think the timing, I'm just waiting on that right now. So I'm not really rushed. We're selling off properties. It's a good time to sell, and that's what we're doing. I would have liked to have kept at least one of the properties to live in, and then rent that out, part of it out. But it is what it is, gang. It is what it is with divorce, and you know, we move on, we rebuild, right? So anyway, that's what I think's kind of happening with the market. The mortgage forbearance, I believe, has expired, and Hawaii is like number 5 on the list with the amount of people that are behind in their mortgages. So it could be really perfect timing for me in the sale of my place, the liquidity that's going to be generated out of that thing. And I would just like to sell our stuff sooner rather than later, so that I can have some cash and be ready instead of waiting. You know, that's probably the hardest part about the whole thing. I'm looking at purchasing a property for cash flow on the mainland, and for me, that would be a place that has an international airport, low or no state income tax. So I'm looking more West Coast states, you know, like Oregon. Not as far as Texas, but I mean, Texas is just kind of dry and hot. But then again, you know, there's Vegas, and the thing I like about Vegas is that although a lot of people are kind of migrating there right now, I don't need to be along the strip. But if I wanted to go to a good restaurant, if I wanted to do some outdoor stuff, if I wanted to jump on my motorcycle and ride, those are all options. In addition to that, there's tons of flights going in there every day, and tons of flights leaving there every day, and direct flights to Hawaii, where I'm at, and direct flights to Asia, where I'm also going to be. So I'm also looking at that. So I'd like to have a place in Vegas that's generating cash flow, a place in Hawaii that's generating cash flow, so that I can be down in somewhere in Asia and kind of wait this thing out where the dollar is strong, and I can just be banking, and then storing that money into, like I was saying, possibly more metals, possibly Bitcoin, and possibly more real estate. So that's kind of the overview plan on what I plan on doing. I pulled all of my money out of the stock market. I think that for me, it's just a little bit too volatile the way things are going right now, and so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to pull it all and wait, put it into other things and wait. That's just me. Again, guys, I'm no expert. I'm just doing what I think is right for me, preparing. I don't want to I want to prepare now to be ready. I don't want to be trying to get ready later when, you know, stuff's already freaking happening. I want to be ready so that I'm light. That's another thing. I'm selling off a bunch of my stuff from the marriage to get myself light so that I can be anywhere within 3 days. And I recently, and that's a shout out to actually Robert Kiyosaki. He did a talk at a convention about a month ago, I think. And his premise was that you guys need to be ready to move and be anywhere, set up in business in 3 days. 3 days, right? So that doesn't mean getting set up when you get there. It means having your bank account there, having a place to stay, having your transportation, having your passport, having your plan in place, so that if I'm in Hawaii, boom, I'm in Vegas. Or if I'm in Vegas, boom, I'm in the Philippines, you know, and I'm set up, I'm ready. Those are my thoughts, and feel free to put a comment below with what you guys are doing. I'd love to know, man. You know, living on an outer island here, there's fresh water, there's the land is abundant, you can still grow stuff, you can still hunt, you can still kill your own animals, there's natural resources, the sun. It's possible to be off-grid. That's why I'm thinking about having a place on an outer island over here. But I'd like to know what you guys are thinking, where you're at, where you live, what your plan is, what you're doing with your money to kind of get ready. Or if you're just thinking everything's good to go and, you know, it'll be smooth sailing and the market will go up forever and the housing market will continue to blast higher than ever. Bitcoin is going to go higher than ever, and everybody's just going to make money forever. I don't mean that sarcastically. I don't see it happening, but hey, if you do, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. So press the subscribe, gang. You know what? I got a bunch of new subscribers. I'm a small fry in this thing, and I always don't script anything. I just speak, and I love the support, you guys. Thank you so much for that, and I'll see you on the next one. All right? Share, like, subscribe. All right, man. See you guys later. Aloha.